Hello, I'm your host Danishel Hernandez, and welcome to SPOTcast. I'm joined by my guests Raquel, Shristi, and August. Cancel culture is a trend within social media where a certain action of an artist or creator is perceived as negative and their audience or fan base do not agree with it. YouTube and celebrity personalities such as James Charles, Logan Paul, and Johnny Depp have all been victims and been affected by cancel culture. As we look into this culture, do social media users have the right to decide whether to end or still progress a certain influencer's career based on the actions that they were being canceled on? This is SPOTcast. Have you guys heard of what cancel culture is?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've heard of it and I've seen it on the internet a few times.
I've seen it on Twitter.
So why would people decide to cancel an artist or influencer?
I think that people would decide to cancel a person would be because of an action or something that they said online that didn't agree with that person's personal morals and beliefs.
It's also a herd mentality where if they see one person canceling the artist, they want to jump on the same bandwagon.
Yeah, I mean, people can also do it because they just dislike this creator and they want to spread misinformation so that other people can dislike them too.
So should we support an artist or influencer's creation if their lives really don't reflect upon their own creations?
I mean, it depends. If they're the sole creator of something and we're almost certain that they're doing these bad things, then we probably shouldn't support those creations because they are, helping them. They're giving them money and stuff. But say someone's working on a movie or a show that has a ton of other people who are working on it, so we can still support and enjoy that thing without necessarily feeling like we're supporting this one person because we're not focused necessarily on them.
In addition to August, if they're advocating something positive and they themselves are negative, then they're putting up a facade and they're not being their authentic self.
So does the audience have the right to cancel an artist?
I don't think the audience has the right to do it because they don't have the full story, not the whole information about what's going on with that person. But it's still kind of inevitable that people would still go online and just spread stuff around.
I think they do have the right to cancel an artist, but not completely. They should learn to give them a second chance so they can fix upon their behavior.
So is it the audience's fault for canceling someone's career?
Yeah, I mean, the audience pretty much controls who gets popular and what sort of stays popular and stays well known. So pretty much with cancel culture as we have it now, the audience is the entire reason it exists because the audience is the one who decides to cancel someone.
So at what point do we stop supporting an artist or influencer altogether regardless of their creations?
Well, I think if someone's continuously doing these negative things and there's no sort of idea of it possibly being misinformation, then we should stop supporting them. But if it's just a small mistake that someone made and they're willing to learn from it and they're willing to grow to be better, we shouldn't cancel them because we should encourage the mindset that you can get better and you can grow. And we definitely shouldn't convince people that if they make one mistake, they're gone and done forever.
I agree with August. I think we should draw a line to where their mistakes are just being remade, where people just don't reflect back on being a good person, knowing what they did was wrong, and just continue straying on the path of just being a horrible person.
Does cancel culture have a positive effects within our society?
I think it has some positive effects. For example, it helps that artist or creator reflect on their mistakes that they've done, but in the end it still causes a lot of unnecessary drama that could potentially ruin that person's life and or career.
Like Raquel said, I think cancel culture has negative effects in society where some people get butthurt about the littlest things and they blow it out of proportion.
So as we move on to our last question, should cancel culture be canceled?
I think the way it is now in our society and the way we know it now, the way we've created it to be, it should be because it tends to do a lot more harm than good, especially with a ton of misinformation is spread usually, and it always hurts people who want to get better for small things they've done. So despite it being despite it having a few positive effects, I think the way it currently is, it should be canceled.
I think it should be canceled, but to some degree, not to the degree that the artist doesn't learn what they did wrong.
I agree that cancel culture should be canceled. However, in our time, it's very difficult to change a person's mindset. Once they have an opinion on something, it's hard to help them change their mind, even if all the facts are there.
And this will do it for this episode of SPOTcast. I would like to thank my guests Raquel, Shristi, and August. For Spot 127, I'm Danishel Hernandez.